The old cow had actually hit her. She felt anger, followed by a strange realization that this could possibly work out in her favour. Haggis stared down at her trembling hand, and then looked back at Maddy in fear. "You hit me," said Maddy. There was a moment's silence. "You deserved it." Haggis's fear was morphing into something else, something harder. "You'll get the sack for that," Maddy said. "You might even get put away." "Don't be ridiculous. Who'd believe a jumped-up little trollop like you?" "I'm going to go and see Gordon. Tell him what you've done." "You tell anyone anything, and I'll make sure you and your brother are split up for good," Haggis said, cold flint in her voice. "I'll make sure he gets sent back to that care home you hated so much." "You can't do that." "Breathe a word of this, and your life will be worth even less than it is now. I mean it. You don't say anything to anybody, or that little brother of yours will be back wetting the bed for the next 4 years. Madison wanted to punch her. "Wait here," Haggis said. She reappeared a few minutes later with Mr. Gordon, the headmaster. "Madison Greene has just threatened to smack me in the face," she announced, and pursed her lips, waiting. "Lying bitch! You can't—" But she realized she couldn't say anything without jeopardizing her life further. "Quiet, Madison," Mr. Gordon said, a weary frown embedded in his grey forehead. "What are you going to do about it, Mr. Gordon?" Haggis put her hands on her hips. "I will not be spoken to like that, or threatened in such a way, especially not by the likes of her." "I'll deal with it, Miss McKinley," he sighed. "Madison, you better come into my office." Maddy shook her head slowly in disbelief, while Haggis caught her eye and twisted her lips in a half-smile. Mr. Gordon opened the door and gestured to Madison to lead the way. Once in his office, he pointed to a chair, and she dropped herself into it. A loud whoomp of air rushed out of the seat-pad. Madison recrossed her arms and began chewing her fingernails. Mr. Gordon sat behind his desk. "She's lying," Madison began. "I never said—" Mr. Gordon held up his hand to silence her. "Madison, I'm sorry, but you've been warned about this type of thing twice already this term. I'm seeing persistent disruptive behavior from you." He slowly shook his head. "I've got no other option. I'm going to have to exclude you from school for 1 week. "What?" She couldn't believe it. How had this happened? How had it gone from one of Haggis's boring lectures to her getting slapped and then suspended? She daren't risk telling the truth. Her brother couldn't take going back to that place. Trevor was going to freak. "I'll also be speaking to your foster parents." "But I never threatened her. I just—" "Stop, Madison. You've been in my office too many times, and I'm not putting up with it anymore. You're lucky I don't get the police involved. Threatening a teacher with violence is a serious offence." "I didn't threaten her, though. She's such a liar. Oh, what's the point?" She clenched her fist in frustration. "No one ever believes me, anyway." Her cheek stung. "Right." Mr. Gordon picked up a blue folder and flipped through its pages. "You can stay in classroom 4B until the end of school. You needn't return until your week's suspension is up." "Great," she replied, standing up, raising her middle finger, and slamming out of his office. Madison didn't bother going into classroom 4B, and she couldn't face going home yet. Leaving the school grounds, she strode across to the nearby park and sat on the only non-vandalized swing. Over by the hedge, a small cluster of Year 9s were bunking off and sharing a bottle of cider. She swung her bare legs backwards and forwards on the swing, its rusty chain thirsty for a few squirts of oil. As she swung higher and higher, anger took hold. She gritted her teeth at the injustice of it all, thoughts flying through her head, things she should have said, should have done, an acidic feeling rising. Not a breath of wind stirred, only the stale breeze she generated on the swing. After a while, her thoughts blurred, and she tried to shake off a feeling of dread. Putting her feet down on the concrete to slow herself, she pulled